Johnny Berba's best tips on how to speak to women, how to approach women, how to ask a woman out, how to be confident with women, how to build a connection with women, how to be more attractive around women. Tip number one for any guy who suffers with social anxiety or is nervous or shy: you must not think, you must just speak from your emotions and from how you feel in that moment. Because when you're in a moment with a woman or a girl that you like in any social situation that you want to speak to, you can't plan before that moment, if that makes sense. So you can't sit at home and strategize about what I'm going to say, because every moment's different, every moment is spontaneous. Even though there are certain things that we say, they're patterns in the way we communicate as humans, like how are you, how was your day, where are you from, what job do you do. So yes, there's those patterns, but it's kind of different when you're speaking to a woman that you've got feelings for, or that you find attractive and that you'd like to get to know her better and find out, especially in high pressured social situations where a girl doesn't know that you're going to speak to her. Sometimes you don't even know that you're going to speak to a girl. You've got no plans, you're going about your day. You think your mind's in a completely different place. You might be going to visit your parents, you might be going to work, coming from the gym, you might be going to go out and get some groceries or shopping. And then you see a girl, you might be in a shop just buying some bits, and then all of a sudden a girl looks at you and smiles and starts a conversation with you. So it's really about learning the art to express yourself in situations that are not planned, they're unprepared. And that's why a lot of men struggle with speaking to women, because they're so frightened to be vulnerable in a situation with a woman and to not have a plan, because fear wants a plan, the ego wants a plan to protect itself from rejection or even success, or opening up. A lot of men are so frightened of opening up to a woman, they're scared to show their real personalities. So the training that I've always done, and I know 100% it works, got me amazing results before I got guys all around the world great results of women, it's the art of what I'm doing now. Doing this video now, there's been no planning, like I haven't been revising notes, I'm just speaking off the cuff. But I know what I'm saying is true because it comes from experience, and I trust what I'm saying, and I feel good about what I'm saying, and I'm following my emotions. So my emotions right now are dictating the words that I'm saying to the camera and the information that I'm putting out. So of course it's practice. Of course, the more you practice speaking to women without thinking too much. Now, why is it bad to think too much when you speak to a woman? I'll tell you straight away, because it comes across like you're not confident and you're scared and you're trying to come up with something to say that would impress her. And during that time, when you're talking to a woman in a social situation, a second is like an hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds is like 5 hours when you talking to a person that you've never met before. When you know someone, then 5 seconds is nothing, because every second counts for you to make your impression. So that's why, from a point of view from how women judge men and how people judge people, when a woman doesn't know you, doesn't know anything about you, and you come up to her for the first time, start a conversation, at the start you are being judged. Of course, she has to make sure she's safe. The same way if someone approached you on the street as a man, immediately there's a judgment. Your mind has to figure out, am I safe, am I in danger? And once your mind is at rest, it knows, oh, I'm not in danger, I'm not going to lose my life here, the person doesn't have bad intentions, right? So also as well, if you notice, all confident leaders, speakers, even confident women and men, confident YouTubers, confident politicians, confident business leaders, a lot of confident speakers, of course there's times where you have to, in a certain different situations where you have to give some thought before you speak. But generally, most speakers speak without thinking too much. They get into a flow. In science, there's a thing called flow state, which is true. And when you're in flow, When you're just speaking from the heart and the words are just coming out very naturally, that's when men are at their most attractive. And that's when women tend to say, yes, you can get my phone number, yes, I'll go out of you. Or if they are taken, they will enjoy the conversation with you. They will react to you in a positive way. So most guys go wrong because they're trying to come up with the perfect line to say to a girl in that situation so they don't get rejected by a girl. But that trying too hard and thinking too hard, it destroys human connection. So it takes a lot of practice. You have to practice speaking whilst being afraid. That's one of the best art forms in the world, which I've not heard anyone talk about on YouTube. I just come out of it right now. See what great things come up when you're honest. This is why my teaching was different to everyone else's on the market, and still is, when I primarily focus on dating coaching. I didn't teach pickup lines and tricks and teach guys how to be nasty and manipulate women. I never came from those values, never believed in it, because I know that's not the right way to go about it. My way gets the best results out of anyone. I know it does. I've got results myself and many others. And it's also about learning to be a powerful communicator. So when women feel that, when they feel the confidence is there and the way you're communicating is making them feel good, because when you're having a conversation with someone that you've never met, think about how you feel just from day to day. When you're talking to someone, if they're taking really long to speak, it gets frustrating. You want to say, just get to the point, or you're thinking, are they trying to manipulate me? Are they trying to, what's going on here? So the quicker you communicate. Now I want to make a point of saying a distinction. Talking too fast, obviously that can come across nervous, right? And that can lose you points. So there's a difference between getting to the point, speaking with confidence, and speaking with not so much of a social filter where you're second guessing what you're saying. And that's what a lot of men do. They second guess. They see a woman and they think she's attractive, she's lovely and feminine. And they won't just say that, right? They'll play it back and go, oh, I'm not sure if I should say that, it might offend a woman, or what if she tells me she's got a boyfriend? That's where you go wrong. That second guessing, that's the lack of confidence and being a man. Whereas if you just said it straight away, if you're in a supermarket or on the train, in a conference, in a party, it doesn't, anywhere in the world, any social situation, if you just said what you felt straight away and said, excuse me, I just saw you and my first thought was you look lovely and feminine, nice to meet you. It's powerful, and women respond to that. And I know, because I've had thousands of social interactions, I've had so much practice, you can probably tell I know my stuff. And I used to do things wrong as well. Obviously, I still make mistakes now. We're always learning. But generally, once you get this, you always in a position to do well with women and get a girlfriend. And it's about having great conversations. Now, obviously, when you know a woman well and you're dating her, then you don't have to be perfect in conversation because she loves you and she knows you and there's trust. So there's different rules at different stages of human relationships. But when you first come in contact with a woman that you've never met before, she doesn't know you, she doesn't trust you, doesn't know anything about you, you have to learn the art of communicating whilst you're scared and nervous inside, being able to control your anxiety so you can build great connections with women, and you can speak with confidence, and you can speak from spontaneity, being spontaneous and not taking really, really long and going, oh, because this is what guys do. They say, some guys, I've seen it when I've taught for years. I've watched thousands of social interactions between a man and a woman. So I've had that experience of seeing body language and the way men communicate. And some guys will say, hi, excuse me. And they have that look in their face like that nervous look. And the girl will go, yep. And they're like, yeah, so where are you from then? So can you see that? That's wrong. The communication, there's no confidence in it. It's too nervous, too panicky, right? The right way to do it is, excuse me, hi, how you doing? Where are you from? How much better was that take than the first one? Way better. Different person. Saying the same things, but it's the delivery. So most guys' delivery is wrong with women because of being too fearful. And like I said initially, comes back to the one error, which is they're filtering, thinking too much. And it's no perfect line to say to a woman, but there is a way to conduct yourself with confidence. So that's one of the best tips I can give men with conversation skills. Now, next point, where many men go wrong, and I saw this in the years that I coached, and thankfully I was always been a good teacher and genuine and intelligent, where I could fix this problem for my students. They're in a conversation with a woman, they've done everything right, they've introduced themselves, they've complimented the woman. The woman's liked it, she's interested in you, she's talking, you've got into a conversation, everything's correct. You're asking her where she's from, she's asking you where you're from, you've established rapport, you're getting to know each other, you know where she works, you know where she's from, what she likes. But then guys don't pull the trigger. And what I mean by that is they don't ask the woman for a phone number and ask her out. The woman's waiting. Obviously, a woman's not stupid. She knows you like her, otherwise you wouldn't speak to her for 15-20 minutes. And she's giving you all the signs. She's not saying, okay, I've got to go now, or I've got a boyfriend, or why did you approach me? There's none of that skepticism. She likes you, and she's asking you questions about where you're from, which is another sign that a woman generally is interested in a man. In most cases, a lot of guys probably don't know that. They focus on other things that they read online, which is a load of bollocks. So when a woman asks you questions that you've asked her, example, you say to a girl, what do you like doing when you go out, or where do you go out regularly? And she says, I like going to the theatre, and I go to the theatre in central London. And then she says, what do you like doing? Where do you like going out? So she reciprocates the question back, which is a sign of interest on her part. She's interested in you. It's also a sign of, on many levels, of attraction. And it's also a sign that she is open. She's open to go out with you. Otherwise, she wouldn't first tell you information about herself. She wouldn't give you that personal information, and she wouldn't ask you about stuff. So guys have to learn to be socially intelligent when they're in an interaction with a woman, so they know where they are, what's going on in the relationship, or is there potential future with this person to see them again that you just met for the first time. Man, I know my stuff, man. I'm the best out there at this. There's no one who's better than me. Sorry, I'm just speaking my mind. I care. I want to get this right. You guys are going to get so much value from this. If you're getting value from this already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know in the box below. I already know this is brilliant because I'm giving it everything from the heart. So can you see I'm giving everything from the heart, which is why this video is going to be received very well. Same way of speaking to a woman, being genuine from the heart. Now, this is how you do it, an example, right? And it's not giving you a line, it's explaining to you how to ask a woman out. There's a point where you've got to make a decision, right? I've been speaking to this woman now for 5-10 minutes, or this lady, or this girl, and we're getting on great. We've been talking for 10 minutes. We've got to know each other. You must ask her out. It's very simple. Here it goes. Do you know what? Listen, I enjoyed talking to you. I've enjoyed it. You're a nice girl. You seem lovely. Look, can I take you out another time? Can we go out for a drink or a coffee? Can I get your number? Can I go out? Simple, that's it. And then a woman will say, yeah, sure. And then she'll reach with the phone. Then she'll go, yeah. And then you'll say, all right, what's your number? And the phone is simple. I'll give you another example of where men go wrong. So they're talking to a woman, it's going well. In their mind, all their feelings and instincts are saying, I have to ask her out, because if you don't ask her out, not in every case, there are exceptions, but generally, when you're new to this, most women will not ask you out then. If you don't ask a woman out and you've been speaking to her for 10-15 minutes and you like her and she likes you and she's waiting for you to ask her out, or she's expecting you to ask her out, if you don't pull the trigger and have the balls to ask her out, then at some point she's going to go, okay, well, it was nice meeting you, I've got to go, or she'll just be waiting there, waiting for you to, and if you don't ask, then it ends, you just lost the girl of your dreams, or you just lost your wife, potentially, or a girlfriend, or a friend, or a great date. So, men hesitate, and the reason why they hesitate, because they're so frightened right? They're so frightened of a woman saying no, the word no, or even worse, I'm really sorry, you're a very nice guy, I enjoyed the conversation, but I have a boyfriend. Men are frightened of hearing that. So instead of facing that, potentially, they don't ask the woman out, they play it safe. So they can rationalize in their head, well, at least I got some attraction. I could have asked her out, but I didn't. It doesn't matter, you didn't pull the trigger. If you don't ask, you don't get. You don't ask, you don't know. So you have to pull the trigger. And also as well, it's being flexible, it's not being rigid. There's no perfect time to ask a woman out. So some guys will say, well, when do you ask a woman out? Is it in the first minute of a conversation? Is it 10 minutes in? It depends. It depends on the woman you're talking to. It depends on the situation. So that's what I always taught in the industry, the dating industry, that there's no blueprint when a lot of people were selling that garbage just to get money out of you and you know, to satisfy their ego. I was teaching the truth that every situation is different. There's some things, there's some patterns in human behavior. Yes, I admit that. There's certain patterns that come up, but every situation is different. So sometimes if you was in a situation where you was on a train with a woman and you were literally getting off the next stop and there's no time for a rapport, obviously you're going to go. So it's better to say, look, I just saw you, I think you're attractive, I've got to get off the train, can I get your phone number and call you this evening, I'll text you and continue. That's excellent social skills, because you're basically practicing the truth in that situation. You're doing everything that you can and you're fitting in, like Bruce Lee would say, his martial arts would adapt to anything. My teaching, same as a martial art, it adapts everywhere. What I taught, what I still teach, works in clubs. It would work on online dating. It works on the street. It works in groups. It works everywhere because it's what you call a truth. So a woman would appreciate that, and that's another thing women love about guys. They love intelligent men. And I'm not saying men who go to Oxford and Cambridge or men who have got a maths degree. I'm not on about that sort of intelligence, even though women can be attracted to a man who's academically intelligent and well-read and so forth. Social intelligence, there's a difference, where a man's got the ability to read a situation and know what is the right thing to say to a woman. And basically the next art I'm going to say, what most guys don't get, the art of being better with women and attracting a woman is the ability to make a woman feel comfortable around you. Period. That's it. As the Americans say, period. I think they say that, or it is what it is. If you're American and you love my videos, write God bless America in the comments. If you're from Canada, write God bless Canada. If you've got Irish in you, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you haven't got Irish in you, send me a check. So women love guys that are socially intelligent, that know when to do it. And a lot of guys don't have that. I saw that, which is why I'm putting this video out. So hopefully this will help 500,000 men. They don't know, they don't have awareness when there's a time where you shouldn't speak to a woman, where it's not right. Maybe she's with her mum or family, she's very busy, and interrupting would be rude and it would upset her and it would ruin your chances. So, you know, all these things are really, really important. And that's it. And I've gave you, I mean, that is incredible advice what I've given you. That's years of experience. And personally, my own life, dating life, I've had so much success with women, so many dates and phone numbers and great relationships. I've had tons of failure as well. Well, you guys know that if you followed me. If you're new to the channel, you will not know anything about me. So I suggest you watch a few more of my videos. You see the transformations I've done. Now, I'm not a dating coach anymore per se. I'm a confidence coach. I've evolved, but it's still relevant to what I help men with, which is helping men to get control over their fear, their anxiety, so they can live the life that they want and they can face fears in any area, facing people, public speaking, talking on the camera, setting a business up, going to the gym. Most of the things I teach is around human relationships. So I've really enjoyed doing the video today. It has been fantastic. I've just aced it today. I'm on point. So last takeaway for you guys is, I want you to let me know, and I want to have a conversation and get a community going in the chat, positive one. I don't want to hear any bickering, all right? I want to speak to positive guys that want to have better relationships with women and be honest. No bullshit with me. If there's going to be bullshit, I'm not going to respond to it, right? Let's have some respect here. I want to know if that helped you out, because this helped all my clients and me over the years to get good relationships, and I'm really grateful towards women in how they've helped me to be better as a man, to improve and become more better in conversations and intelligent. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Become fearless. If you really enjoyed it, I will make a follow-up to this video and give more tips and life experience on how to build better relationships with women, especially for shy men who are quite introverted and they overthink too much and they're very fearful about rejection and asking a woman out. I can really help you, because I used to be one of them. All right, become fearless. God bless, and thank you for the support.